So, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna say it. Every single time I go to a wrestling event, I have a fun time, and this was no different, alright? Like, you know, we're back again talking about EWW. This one is out way earlier than I usually do. It's usually like 2-3 weeks before I even get a video out, but no, this time, my throat isn't dead afterwards, which is surprising. Maybe I'm getting used to it. I honestly don't know. My ears are fine, even though, as you'll probably see in the clips a bit later on, I was right next to a speaker, which was a fun experience. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and just talk about my time at Invasion of the Bodyslammers 13. Again, I'm not even like affiliated with them in any way, but I'm always going to say it every single time. Get yourself on that on-demand service. The shows they've been doing recently have been really fun. They've been really good. They're definitely worth the money for their on-demand service. I'm always going to put the link in the description whenever I'm talking about this company, because I feel like, you know, it's my due diligence if I'm, you know, showing you footage from the show and all that I should have the channel and, well, not the channel, but, you know, the company linked in some way. First of all, let's talk about the setup, because the setup was a little bit different than usual. This was mainly, I reckon, because of one thing, and that was that we had a live band at the show. A band called Word of Nod, which I'll keep it real, okay, I've never really heard of them before, before that show and before they announced that they were going to be there, but, the setup was definitely different. We actually had, like, proper guardrails this time, on both sides of the staging and whatnot. I think that was mainly just to help the commentators and to help Word of Nod not get pestered by a bunch of people, because a lot of the time the kids there's usually like a blind spot, there's like a gap where like the kids can run in and like basically get a front row experience. Obviously they couldn't do that because Word of Nod were like right there the entire time. It's the first time they've actually had proper guardrails at the show, so I feel like the quality's improving slowly but surely, which is always a great thing. And, you know, the pre-show kind of thing, so obviously, again, I got VIP tickets, so I got to meet MMA fighter Ollie Thompson, which, you know, he's a cool guy, right? Like, he's taller than me, which, surprisingly, a lot of these wrestlers are either my height or a little bit shorter. Bro was much taller than me. And yeah, no, he was sick, right? He was such a chill dude. Got to take a photo of him with his 2 MMA belts. So, you know, props to him. He was taking on Titan, which we will get onto in a bit, because my God, I've got a lot to say about Titan from this one. Definitely. And yeah, there wasn't anyone at ringside. I don't know if that was because Word of Nod was there, if that's just what they're going to be doing going forward. But either way, it was a fun little beginning to the show, and we got Word of Nod playing before the show started for about, I think it was about 15-20 minutes, which was sick, right? And again, we will get back to the Word of Nod a bit later on as well. So we kick off the show. Jake Pert, as always, master of ceremony. Great job. He's fantastic, and yeah, he definitely does his job incredibly. And then we move on to the first matchup of the night. Brother Corvus, representing Eden, taking on one of my personal favorites, El Jugador, Jackie Hart. I have his autograph up there. It was a great match. It was a lot of fun. I didn't record a lot of the matches. I just wanted to be there in the moment and just experience it. So I recorded the entrances, and I recorded like the victories and stuff, and maybe some things that happened in certain matches, because again, I just wanted to experience, right? Just enjoy the moment without my phone and without recording things. But I kind of wish I recorded a little bit of this match, because there's a bit in this match where Jugador just does this and says, "Hey, did you want me to do?" And he straight up spikes Corvus in the ass with it. I'm like, oh my God. Does bro watch DDT? Like, does he watch a lot of the absurdist wrestling? Because, hey man, Jugador is slowly becoming one of my favorites, because he just lives the gimmick, right? Like, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. Jugador won, which, you know what, that's great. I think it's the first time that he's won a match under the Jugador umbrella, so fantastic. Then we have the match I think nobody expected what was going to happen, as Super Dick, everybody's favorite superhero, defended the Academy Championship against Rishi Ghosh, the man with the hard man haircut. And yeah, I don't think anyone expected what happened here. I don't usually spoil the results, but this show was so great in terms of the in-ring stuff that even if I spoil the results, you guys would enjoy the matches and whatnot. There was a very interesting angle after this match, because whilst it looked like Super Dick had this matchup in the bag, right, like, nobody was probably expecting the loss, right? Nobody was expecting him to lose. I didn't really see anybody, like, yeah, I didn't expect it myself. I didn't really see Rishi Ghosh being the guy, but he won. He cheated, but he won. And then bro just casually grabbed a sledgehammer. Well, I say sledgehammer, just like a hammer, and just started bashing the Academy belt. And then he came out later. I don't think he was announced as the Academy champion, so I do not think the Academy championship is a thing anymore. I think we literally witnessed the end of the Academy championship, which I was low-key talking about, literally, I think the day before I went to the show. I was like, you know, I don't think with the roster they have, I don't think they need the 3 singles belts. I think they could perfectly be fine with 2. And that way you can have way more non-title feuds. Especially with Chaos being around, which I have my theories on. After that show. But yeah, no, very interesting matchup. Ollie Thompson versus Titan. And this was a matchup I was looking forward to, right? Because there's 2 big dudes, big muscular dudes. And I'm like, hey, you know what? This is what professional wrestling is, my friends. And my God, the presentation of Titan was immaculate on Saturday. It really, really was. He came out to Word of Nod playing him live. Then you've got his manager, Jamie Winters, just going nuts. I was like, this is the presentation that Titan has needed for the longest time. I like Titan, but I've always felt like he needed something. And this was the something, right? And then Ollie Thompson came out to Eminem, you know, as you do, I guess. But I'm gonna keep it real, man. I wanted Titan to win this, like, the whole time. Since that match was announced, I was like, Titan needs to win. And my God, he won. And I was like, hey, I know what comes next. And we'll, like I said, there's a lot of, we will get onto this later, because a lot of people in, like, the really early stages of this show ended up doing really important things after, like, later on. So, yeah, this was definitely the right call, I would say. Titan has been someone who I've wanted to be, who I've wanted to see be a bigger deal in these shows, right? Because he's so, like, he's so good at getting a reaction one way or another, and adding Jamie Winters to his act, who's a really cool guy. And I got a photo with those two, and I got a fist bump from Jamie Winters for saying, hey, good job today. And I'll explain why, right? Like, it was great. Great match as well. It was a little bit sloppy at times, but when you've got 2 big dudes who are trying to lift each other, the longer the match goes, the more likely it is that those lifts aren't going to be as polished, right? Like, that's just... And then we get onto the St. George's title match, and this was nuts, right? Like, Damien and Lupo came into this match and just absolutely delivered a fantastic match, right? Like, I know both guys could go. I didn't know how well they were going to go against each other, and I am so happy that they had a fantastic matchup. Lupo was still Brother Lupo, representing Eden, and Damien was the #1 contender and was going after the belt. And I kind of felt as though this was Damien's moment, and it was. It was a great matchup. Damien ends up picking up the win, and after the match, we say goodbye to Brother Lupo and hello to Lupo Lee once again. Let me see if I can grab my shirt real quick. So I want to let it be known that when I went to my first show, I think it was my first show, this was the first shirt I ever bought, was a Lupo Lee shirt. And to see him go back from being Brother Lupo and genuinely improving his game so much, like genuinely seeing him go from where he was in like 2021, I think, to now was nuts, right? Like, genuinely, this man has come on leaps and bounds since then, and that St. George's title run was great, right? Even though it had its moments of like, oh, Eden are gonna win the match by DQ or help him win, the wrestling was still great, right? So now that we've got face Lupo back again, but with the newfound talents that he's kind of acquired whilst being in Eden, and also just developing his skills over the years. I'm super excited for this, and I genuinely think that this could be the time that we can see Lupo as EWW World Champion at some point. I really do. I got to take a photo with Damien as St. George's champion during the interval, so that was always fun. So there was this moment during the interval, and this is what I mean by, like, you know, sometimes you just gotta, like, enjoy the experience, right? Because I couldn't have filmed this if I wanted to, because I didn't even know it was happening. So before he came out and, like, took photos with everyone as the new St. George's champion, Damien just started poking his head out the curtain, and a bunch of us spotted him and just started cheering him. So he came back out, came back into the curtain, came back out for a second, everyone started cheering. He just did that a few times. It was great, right? Like, this is what I mean by filming the experience. Can sometimes dampen things, right? Like, sometimes things like that just don't happen if you're like, oh, I'm going to film everything. But I got a picture with Damien during the interval. He's a super cool guy. Only got to chat with him for like a second or two. Got a fist bump from him too, so that was cool. So yeah. We then move on to the Money in the Bank Rumble. That's right, they did a whole ass Money in the Bank Rumble, where the winner gets a title shot anytime, any place. There are so many people in this match, and I think some people got switched out. Noticeable by his absence was El Jugador, who was originally scheduled to be in this match, but Corvus had his mask, so that wasn't going to happen. At first, I thought that meant that his previous alteration of Jugador, so Bosco Brady, was going to come out, but no, he just wasn't in this matchup at all. And, oh, I've got to tell you, so Belvedere only lasted maybe like 10 seconds in that Rumble, right? But as he was coming back round, he was like, you know, nah. That's not a huzzah moment right there. No. What can I say, man? When you're front row, you get those experiences, man. I tell you. But yeah, it was a fun match. Titan came out at the end, eliminated pretty much everybody, and won. And Word of Nod played him out to the ring, and then immediately kept playing after he won. And now Titan has a world championship shot because they announced that if he was going to win. Jamie Winters did a whole promo where it was like, if Titan wins, he's going for the world championship, and there's no other option. So, there you go. And then we move on to the tag team championship match. And this is where things really, like, piqued my interest. I'm telling you right now, I don't think anyone expected what happened. So, Eden has been on the rocks, right? Lupo's now left. Sanctus was taken by Chaos during the build to Invasion from Know Your Enemy 2. He was taken and was basically, like, indoctrinated, I guess is the word, by Chaos. He's now gone crazy. He's gone, like, psychopathic, basically. And the party, if they lost, were never going to get another shot at the tag titles. So my brain went, well, this is a show where everybody loves the party. They're not going to have the party never challenge for the tag belts ever again. We'll see. There was also Southside Wrecking Crew. This was originally meant to be Cyrus Shade and my guy, Ryan Albright. But Albright was injured, couldn't compete. So they brought in a new addition in the form of Q-Ball, who is quite fun, actually. He's a cool guy. I actually do like him. I think he's really, really good. Not seen a lot of him in ring, but his personality definitely shone through during that match. There's a bit where Jeff Leopard of the party gets his wig ripped off, and Q-Ball runs over and grabs it and pops it on. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. He's great. I'll keep it real. But the party lost, guys. The party can't challenge for the tag titles. I don't think that's a problem anymore. Because I'm just gonna show you the footage. Nowhere. Oh no! It's gutting, man. It's gutting. As somebody who's a big fan of the party. So that's an interesting one. I'm still gonna wear party merch. I don't care, man. Hey, the party were a group that I really, really liked. They gave me Rock and Rave Experience vibes, and if what's gonna happen is what I think's gonna happen, then I'm completely fine with the split. I am, but I just want to see how it plays out before I say anything. Then we had, I don't want to say it was a nothing match because it was still a good match. It was Alexander Young taking on a newcomer in Sonam, right? And I was like, you know, Alexander Young should win this, but they've presented Sonam as the nephew of Dominator, who's like a massive name in EWW and is the owner of the company. I was like, okay, Sonam's probably winning this, and he did. It was a great match, don't get me wrong, but putting that on at that stage of the card, like the penultimate match, was a bit of an interesting one, I'm not gonna lie. If they plan to make Sonam a big deal, then cool, by all means, but I honestly don't know. Not really much I can say about that match other than just, it existed. But then we get the main event. Last man standing for the World Heavyweight Championship, Felix defending against Grayson Dawn. And when I tell you that I held that sign up, I did. And not only did I hold that sign up, after the show, yeah, I got that sign signed. So we will be framing this. And yeah, that was fun. I wanted Grayson to win, and I'm not gonna lie. Normally in matches like this, I'll go with the crowd. Not today. I think Felix is great, but this was Grayson's time, so I was cheering for Grayson that entire time. And they did the John Cena Batista spot. They did the spot, and as that happened, I was like, oh, there's no way he's not winning. And you know what happened? Grayson won. And Grayson Dawn is the new world champion, and I could not be happier. It's about time. He's one of my favorite dudes on that roster, and I think it's just about time that they put the belt on that man. Simple as. Great match. Lots of barbed wire, lots of hard hitting spots. They started hitting each other with a belt at one point. It was nuts. But after that, we saw for the first time in the flesh Chaos. And I'm not going to be that guy who's like, I don't know who it is. I think I've got it cracked. I think between me and my mum who was there, I think I've got it cracked. Based on what happened earlier, and just based on like the overall body bit, like on the overall build of Chaos and the hair and all of that, I think it's but no, Chaos is sick. The get-up's sick, the mask is sick, he's got like a striped baseball bat. I'm a big fan of the Chaos look, and I'm not gonna lie, I think Chaos deserves to have moments where bro is gonna get a monstrous push, I feel like. But yeah, no, that was Invasion of the Bodyslammers 13. Overall, a fantastic show. Shout outs to Word of Nod, what a band, what a performance. Strangely, despite being right next to the speakers, my ears are completely fine. And yeah, man, definitely go out your way to watch this one if you can, right? If you can support the company, I support them by buying a ticket, buying the merch, and I probably will get the on-demand service soon, just so I can watch it in higher definition than just watching it with my eyes, which I don't think is possible, but I don't know. But yeah, no, it was a great time, and yeah, see ya.